What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zev here,
Carl Fly.
It's dense.
and we House Money Entertainment, y'all. All right, today we got some news. Brandon Graham actually retired this week. Spent 13 years,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, 15.
15.
15
I
years,
remember
yeah, 15 years.
my brother was telling me 15
Yeah,
years on the
15 years.
Eagles.
Mhm.
He recorded 76 sacks for total for his entire career.
That's not bad.
His his highest sack total was 11.
Mm.
That was back in 2022.
Damn, that's not too far away.
Yeah,
That's
had a
like
very
two
good career.
years ago.
2 rings. First ring was in 2017.
Yep.
Second ring was of course this past season.
Like the 2017 Super Bowl was what? That's probably what made him like with that strip.
Oh
sack.
yeah, the strip sack he had against Tom Brady.
Hey,
That was legendary.
Not a lot of people can say they got a strip sack on Tom Brady in the Super Bowl at that.
Yeah.
So
Not a lot of-
shout out
Brandon Graham.
Shout out Brandon Graham. That's a huge accomplishment. I'm glad he was able to, give his expertise to the Eagles and was able to get another ring before he was able to retire. So shout out to Brandon Graham.
As a Commanders fan, though, happy to see you go.
Yeah.
You gotta always be happy.
Terrorized my team.
That's true. That's true.
Go take your money, go invest in some property, some
He
businesses,
probably had a podcast too.
Yeah.
and lay low.
Yeah.
He probably started a podcast.
Come to the podcast, Brandon. If you see this, pull up, man.
Yeah, House Money.
House money.
House Money ENT Entertainment.
Yeah. Entertainment.
Entertainment. Emphasis on the entertainment part.
But yeah, let's move along. In other news, we got Derek Stingley contract. He's a cornerback. He's got 90 mil. I want to say how much guaranteed? 89 guaranteed
for 3 years.
3 years.
as a cornerback for
That's
3
crazy.
years.
$25 million signing bonus too. People forget about that.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you put all that into perspective, you look at his contract. He's the highest paid player, but before that, it was Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett was the highest paid non-quarterback.
He was the highest paid non-quarterback. Then Stingley became the highest paid non-quarterback.
Like a week later.
And the crazy thing about that is, it's like you hear those contract numbers, and you're like, damn, 89 mil guaranteed. And then you look at T. Higgins' contract, and you're like, damn, that nigga got fucked over. Like,
How much did he get? I didn't even see the
I
number.
mean,
we'll get into that.
yeah, it's not a good number. It's like, I was gonna say that we'll get there, but as far as Stingley goes, I feel like
He's just
for a 3-year contract at 89 mil guaranteed, once that 1 year is capped, when that money hit that account, he can actually put a fleece and he can be like, I'm about to retire.
Yeah.
He can actually fleece him if he took it that way. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's
should.
going to do that.
Get as much money as you can. I mean, this is what his third
I think he's
year.
going to do that admirable way.
I think
It's his third year.
Yeah.
His first season, I think he recorded one interception.
Yeah.
The past 2 seasons, he's
Yeah,
had
five.
5 back to back.
Yeah.
And that's
So
not bad.
It's not bad at all,
It's not
and
He's productive, and he's
Yeah.
a close down corner. The only thing I would say as far as like the contract is, the contract inflation is kind of crazy because if Myles Garrett is getting paid this, he's in the experienced pro, and Stingley Jr. Like, don't get me wrong, he's tough. I like him. But he still has a ceiling, and the Texans are putting a price on that ceiling. But the Browns didn't need to put a price on Myles Garrett's ceiling. You see what I'm saying? They put a price on his floor.
I'm with you.
Because he's a beast.
so that begs the question: Is inflation affecting the NFL or sports in general? Really,
Yep.
The inflation is affecting everything from the NFL to the NBA to this to fucking wrestling, bro. It's like it's literally a mean scope of how you see where everybody's getting their money because people want to get paid what they're worth.
Right.
They're not trying to get slighted.
Well, see, there's my pushback on that because I'm all for people getting their money, especially black men. But a lot of y'all are not worth that money.
Exactly.
For example, Dak Prescott, he's not worth 60 mil every a year.
Hey, look.
You told me something crazy. You said how many seasons is he in?
10 years.
This is 10th season that's coming up.
Bro, that's crazy. Time flies.
But you, all right,
That's how many playoff wins. 2.
Go there.
But back on top. Go ahead.
But to add on to what you're saying, as far as Dak, you saying that people being paid what they're worth. I feel like the thing about the whole paying what you're worth, I think the teams are trying to keep other teams from picking up these players because they want them to stay under their organization. And some of these players are actually going out their way to stay with these organizations because they feel the loyalty there.
Right.
And they don't want to go to the next organization because if they feel like they do that, it's a restart.
Well, what plays a part in it is that these players are trying to reset the market, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to reset the market.
That's true. That's true.
And I hate to keep going back to the Cowboys, but the problem that can come with that is if you have an owner that is more that will rather reset the market than to pay his players early, so that he, you know, because he'll wait, and then let's say like a Joe Burrow gets paid.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow gets paid. Because Joe Burrow was the highest paid quarterback, remember?
Yeah, it was.
And then right after that, Dak Prescott got paid.
That was the surprise of the season, I think. It was how much
for the simple fact
I knew we were gonna do it. It's Jerry Jones. That's one thing about Jerry Jones. He's gonna pay his players.
And that's the thing too. If you really want to go down to the nitty gritty, like the Cowboys is a team that's going to pay their players that they feel is going to be a part of their franchise for years to come.
Do you understand why though? It's because Jerry's obsessed with headlines.
Yeah,
he's obsessed with narratives.
Unfortunately, I know we touched on this last week. I feel like Cowboys is just now trying to be a social media team. Like it's like a team that
they always been like that.
No, I'm talking like they always been like that.
Nah,
but like,
not really.
Where
always have a star.
No, I'm saying
where.
The only reason why I put the social media aspect into it is because of, you know, I'm not trying to rag on Micah Parsons. But
let's get into it because that's the next subject and we can hop right into that.
That's why I'm segueing to that. I'm not trying to rag on Micah Parsons because he's an amazing player. He puts the numbers up. He shows that he's capable of doing the things that he's talking about.
He clearly wants to win.
He wants to be. You're absolutely right. He wants to be a person that is pushing his team to the forefront. Because if you're looking at your offense and you see your offense isn't doing what they're supposed to do, but you have a person on the defense that's fired up, ready to prove himself to the team, the organization, and the fans. I had to take back what I said. Like, I know I slighted him about the podcast stuff, but I just want to see it's shown on the field.
I'll slide him about the podcast stuff. I mean,
because you're not wrong. You're not wrong for that. But
wait, hold on. The thing about Micah is he produces the numbers that he needs to, right? The problem with that is, right, his performances are tied in with the team performances. Now, he could always, if he was a mature player, he could go about it two ways. He could say, okay, you know what, guys, I'm a producer on this team. Y'all are not producing, so I can go do what I want, and y'all do whatever, right? That's the immature take. But the mature take of this would be, okay, Micah, you got the podcast, but we haven't won a game in like 3 weeks. Bro, can you just skip an episode? An episode, bro. I'm always seeing him. He's always releasing something, right?
But then you got to think about it, too. That's another bag for him.
Yeah.
So why would he want to step away from a bag if that's his own bag that he's creating?
If it messes up the other bag,
it's not the bag.
This is the question: how does his podcast, him having a podcast, affect the rest of the team? Right?
Because
I know. I'm gonna answer. It's because it's a distraction, right?
Yeah.
Like he's writing checks that the rest of the team gonna have to cash, and 9 times out of 10 they won't be able to do that. So. Then it comes back to him. Everybody's pointing fingers at him, and it's mainly because he's taking that leadership role. He's supposed to be the leader of not only the defense, but honestly, the whole team outside of Dak. So yeah, he's taking that leadership role, and so realistically, it makes sense to hold him accountable for what he says on his podcast.
Definitely, you do got to hold him accountable.
And then to segue, not segue, but for example, Paul George has a podcast, right?
Yeah.
He's on 76ers, right? They've been doing terrible this season.
Terrible, yeah.
Don't get me we're not even gonna get into that because I'm gonna get into that next episode. Yeah. But
we do got to touch. We do got to touch on that.
Because Joel. It might be time to retire.
Hey,
no,
no,
you do because I'm
you know. All right.
You should.
Next week we're gonna go to
Yeah.
we're gonna get to.
I'm gonna holler at you, Joel.
We're gonna get to him because he need to get his ass ripped into. No Diddy.
Yeah, facts.
He needed. Somebody need to talk to that man. I'm
Process
telling
that,
y'all, somebody
bro.
need to talk to that man.
Before,
like 2
before
decades
example,
process.
Paul George has a podcast. His team been doing terrible, and he took it upon himself to say, you know what, I'm like one of the leaders of this team.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take a break from the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
smart.
that's
Look,
absolutely-
and the crazy thing is, people were telling him like, you realize y'all still gonna lose, right? But he's like, at least I can't say that there's an distraction.
Mhm.
At least I
Yeah.
can say I put everything into this,
Into it, yeah.
and that's what it takes, man.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. If you want to win a Super Bowl,
Mhm.
that's what it takes.
Like-
Ask the Eagles.
I think
Yeah, you
you
don't wanna-
can't run from the fact that Micah's decision to have a podcast, even though he knows where the Cowboys are, is a selfish decision because people
Yeah.
are talking to him like, "Yo,
Of
Micah,
course.
Yeah.
why are you still doing that podcast?
Yeah.
Man, don't tell me what to do, bro. I'm a leader on the team. I get
Not even
I
that,
can
it's-
tell he probably talks like that.
Not even that is if you know about Michael Parsons' history, how he came up and stuff. He
Yeah.
didn't come up rich and all that. He's
Yeah.
thinking about, like, of course you have to be selfless too,
Mm-hmm.
but you also have to be selfish in this league because
Mhm.
the bottom line is at any day
Yeah.
you can get injured or
Yeah,
whatever.
hurt.
These
Yeah.
owners don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not
Well,
going to say,
if you're
"Oh
cooked-
well, you were loyal to us, so we'll
Yeah.
just ride it out."
Yeah.
No, you're gone.
If you're cooked, you're
So
cooked.
you have to secure yourself. You have to secure the bag,
Mhm.
and that's part of the reason why, like, as much as I talk about Dak's contract, it's like I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, he had to.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably ask for more.
You gotta
but-
secure the bag.
You got to secure the bag. You got to secure your future. But
If I'm being quite honest with you, the Cowboys really didn't have a choice at that point in the season.
no, we
Yeah.
did. No.
No.
At that point, no. You're right.
No,
We
no,
did it.
Yeah, but and
But-
even you
Drafted,
said,
but
even
yeah.
you know, conversations we had behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You even said that you felt like he should have got that money,
Mhm.
but the money, the rest of the money that they had should have been invested into, like grabbing other players.
Yeah.
Like
Well, the
Yeah.
issue with the issue
but the
happened.
cap room is fucked.
No. The cap is messed up because we wait to pay our players until
Yeah,
it's too late.
it's too late. Y'all wait till it was like y'all about to get the training
You
camp.
have to restructure
to try to-
contracts.
You have to
get- fill the
restructure-
roster. That's crazy.
and-
You have to
That's not
restructure, right? But if
yeah.
you pay them early and not wait for all these other teams to raise the
cap limit.
the cap limit.
Yeah.
not that, but I was just
The
talking
trade-
about it.
the
Basically
trading-
like
trading-
the
Reset the market,
the-
right?
Yeah.
You wait till that, then that's extra ammo. Like Myles Garrett, right?
Mhm.
You think Michael Parsons isn't happy Myles Garrett got paid that much money?
Yeah.
He like, bet I'm about to
Well,
go to Jerry
so-
Jones.
To kind of like segue
Yeah.
to the next subject and to kind of capitalize on what you're talking about with the whole Jamar Chase and T. Higgins contract
Mhm.
situation, right? They restructured so that way they can both stay. But and the thing is, I'm not sure if Dak and CD restructured so they can both stay. I feel like they
Yeah.
restructured because the team came to them and was like, "Look, we kind of bit off more than we can chew."
Too, yeah.
So, and just to save embarrassment, can you
Nah,
guys restructure?
I'll tell you
Yeah.
exactly what happened. It's that, but it's more so. It's more so they've been pressured to, right? Because my thing is, like we understand, that's the market for a quarterback.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Jerry Jones can easily go to him and say, well, every time you're asked about your contract and about what's more important, like he says, oh, I'm not worried about the money. We all know Dak is worried about the money.
Yeah.
If not him, his agents worry about the money.
Yeah.
So
All right.
in order to save face, Dak has to take that pay cut.
Mhm.
So I'm glad you said that. So Jamar Chase.
Hold on. So next subject we're gonna get into is the Bengals. They signed Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to a deal. Jamar Chase took a pay cut to help T. Higgins stay. So we're gonna get into that right now.
Actually,
was that the case?
Higgins took a pay cut.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Higgins
T. Higgins took a pay
Higgins took
cut.
a pay cut. T. Higgins got the shit changed.
Well,
The shit.
Well,
part of
T.
the
Higgins
deal.
got the shit can of the deal, but Jamar still took the overall pay cut to help restructure T.
but-
Higgins. But
right.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
But if you look at Jamar's contract
Mhm.
and Higgins' contract,
It's crazy.
So pretty much.
his age,
No, I'm gonna let you break it down, but let me try to like make sense of it. So pretty much, T. Higgins took a pay cut so that Jamar Chase could get paid what he's actually worth,
Mhm. I think it's
and
like
then Jamar Chase took a pay cut
okay, yeah. I was gonna say.
Okay, so Jamar Chase took a pay cut, and they ended up not paying T. Higgins
Because of that. So
what he was worth.
because of that, they had to restructure Jamar's contract
Right.
so that way T. Higgins could get paid. So even though T. Higgins not getting paid that much compared
No,
to Jamar,
y'all don't. I'm
No, you break it down.
No,
break it down.
so I was listening to some shit earlier.
Mhm.
T. Higgins contract, if he don't, they can cut him
Mhm.
within a year.
yeah,
He won't get
last
that
year.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's not guaranteed.
It's not
Yeah, it's not
guaranteed.
guaranteed,
The
yeah.
money that he's owed, the money that he's supposed to get, is not guaranteed.
Mhm.
Jamar Chase, a different story.
Of course.
Oh, okay. So they did all guaranteed with him and then no guarantee
Yeah,
with T. Higgins.
and-
That's
and T-
kinda but he is the number 2
Hold on,
though.
hold on.
Yeah,
So-
but
Hold on, but
you
T.
gotta have
Higgins.
something
But all right,
guaranteed.
so
That's honestly his
if my
agent.
if
his
you had an
agent.
agent,
I'm firing the guy.
Oh, yeah, for
If
sure.
all
he
right,
do like
if
that.
your agent told you to sign that contract,
Yeah,
what is your agent really doing? Because look,
running from the gun.
look. At this point, I think his agent worked for the Bengals. Like his agent works with them already. He just
But
picked
this
them,
what
he picked
doesn't.
them up off the humble.
Well, see, they would have to be paying his agent under the table because they,
They
you know,
definitely
these
probably are,
agents
so.
get paid based on how much, based on their track
they-
record with
yeah.
their contracts that
So,
they
yeah.
get.
They
signed.
have like a percentage.
I'm pretty sure.
So it wouldn't
it's some
benefit him to do
underhanded
that,
taxes
but-
But
going
what
on.
if they both have the same
Because
agent?
even-
That
even
could be a
Chad-
possibility.
even
too.
Chad Johnson was sitting there. He was like, he couldn't even and he played for the Bengals. He's like,
Yeah.
he
He's
said,
close to the.
he said,
to
man,
the
he said,
franchise.
this is a bad contract. He said, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. He said, I feel bad for TK, but I'm gonna root for him
Yeah, exactly.
because I know
Yeah.
why he
I
did
hope
it because he
I
wanted to
hope
stay
he
with the
stay.
team.
Yeah, I hope he stay healthy.
That's what it was for. He
I'm not
wanted to
gonna
play with
hope-
them boys. He
I'm
wanted to
not
play
gonna
with
hope.
Burrow.
I'm not going to hope that they win a Super Bowl because it's like, what's the likelihood of that? But I do hope he stay healthy and play out his contract to where he can get another contract. He has
Yeah,
to get
And
paid.
you know
the
what's
contract that
crazy,
he's
too?
deserved.
Is
Yeah.
the Bengals actually have bigger problems than Jamar Chase?
But then they
that
said-
defense needs.
But then they
work.
also
The defense needs big work.
How's their offensive line? Let's ask that.
Yeah, that's
They
what I
also
think, too.
said that if they was to cut Jamar Chase, they know because another team will pay him more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They wouldn't have to worry about giving them money because they know another team will pay him. So like
They'll
this
be able
season,
to.
this season he can play good.
Mhm.
If they feel the need that they need them, they can't do that with him right now. They can cut him, and then let another or trade him.
So I don't want to sound unprepared, but it sounds like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are kind of like betting. They're
They're
kind
betting
of,
on themselves.
and
That's-
the Bengals sold them on the
Division.
division.
Yeah.
So
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. To
I respect it, but
They went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, right?
yeah,
But the profile of the team hasn't changed since then. It's still built around Burrow. It's still
Yep.
No, you're absolutely
Jamar
right.
Chase.
You're
They
absolutely
can go
right.
back. Yeah.
They can definitely
could.
go back.
This is the key.
Problem is they have to get past y'all.
No, that which What?
They done before.
Yeah.
Out of anybody,
Mhm.
Joe
Like that.
Burrow is known as Pat Mahomes' kryptonite.
Kryptonite.
Yeah.
They
But see-
have to get a defense, and when I say a defense, they need to look at what the Eagles did.
Mhm.
If they get the Eagles defense, they be good. I'm not
Honestly,
saying
You can't
exactly.
do what the Eagles
honestly-
did because they're
honestly-
locked in with the Illuminati. or
Of
something,
course,
bro.
I'm not
Honestly,
saying exactly,
anything-
but think about it. Like
Florida is spanking. Oh
Yeah, everybody.
But nah, but honestly,
Hey,
if
but shout out Norfolk State though. You know, y'all made a tournament. Much love,
honestly,
much love.
We'll
if
get to
we're
it,
going to be on that spectrum of those things, like yeah, it sounds good, but does it really? As a player that is trying to provide for their family,
no, it don't sound
does
good.
it sound? But as a person that is
Now,
sold
if
on
I-
the vision,
If I've already gotten paid before, like that's why Tom Brady was so successful.
Mhm.
Even though he already got paid, he like, man, look, I'm gonna take a pay cut. I'm trying to win these rings.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got a wife that makes millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm good, so I'm gonna take pay cuts. I'm gonna make sure my other guys get
they
paid.
pay the money that they're owed.
It makes
yeah.
sense. That's what you're supposed to do.
But yeah, no.
Dak Prescott.
As a team player,
Mhm.
that's why I'm not ragging on Higgins so much. It's like
Yeah.
because I know why
I
he
respect-
It makes sense.
I respect why
Right.
he did it. It's fucked up to see
Because
that
like
his
honestly,
contract had to get
if you're T
played with
Higgins,
like
what
that.
do you even do, right? You every situation you go to, right, you're gonna be the so-called number one, right?
Not
But there's not a
necessarily.
lot of number one slots out there in the NFL.
What would I do?
left.
Yeah, it is.
What would I do?
No,
Yeah,
I
it
would
is.
go-
only like the Raiders, maybe the
Saints.
Chargers,
Saints.
Saints. Oh yeah. I forgot.
Panthers.
What about what's his name? From the Saints. They said they have faith in him to be number one.
Yeah, I mean,
they
but-
drafted him
but-
last year. Oh, Olave,
but-
Chris
yeah,
Olave.
no,
yeah.
Olave is good, but I'm
Mhm.
saying, but like, if T Higgins came to the Saints, Olave would be the number two.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you're
it's-
right.
And that's not.
I
That's not
agree
even
with
a
that.
knock. That's not even a knock
But-
against Olave. But it's
But
just
the situation, right, of like a good team that doesn't have a outright number one, the only other team that even came close to that would have been the Commanders, but you got Terry there. So yeah, T Higgins not gonna go play with Terry. I had no illusions that we get T Higgins because I'm like, well, T Higgins is not gonna get the ball in our offense.
that's
So
true.
yeah, that's what I mean.
He
I feel
don't
like
need.
if him,
Well, that's not necessarily
Nah,
true.
that's not true though.
it-
Because
kind
he
Oh
would be.
yeah,
the tape is gonna play out.
I'm
Like
forgetting y'all got Debo now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
But see,
That's the
Debo
other
can
part of
come.
it, too.
See that. See, that's the thing. People
I
don't realize
I
how
think he
Debo
would get the
play.
ball more than Debo.
Yeah, you don't realize Debo's a slot receiver.
Yeah,
He can come out the backfield.
Yeah.
Debo can come out the backfield on a slot,
Mhm.
and he can smoke shit on that end.
Mhm.
But people not realizing T Higgins is a true receiver.
yeah.
He's going to come off that line and run up that
He's
field
so
or hit
physical,
that right
too,
or
bro.
hit that slant or whatever.
He's just a straight up like 50-50
And then you
ball
got
guy.
scary. Then
Yeah.
you got scary Terry catching
The deep ball.
the deep
Yeah,
balls.
he's
Pause.
crazy.
Yeah,
I know
did
what's
he?
crazy about him, and then we can move on. That's what I say. I hope his numbers don't go down because a lot of people don't realize he's actually kind of getting up there in age. I think he's like 29. Now,
Yeah, he's up
30.
there.
Who?
Terry
Terry?
Moore.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
older now. He's like 32, I think.
No, I
31,
don't think he in
32.
his 30s, is he?
Yeah, I think he's a couple years
We'll
old.
fact check that.
Yeah, we'll fact check
that,
but all right, we're gonna move along here. We got to talk about the NCAA tournaments. You know, March Madness and everything going on.
Well,
I'll pass it on to my boy Carl. Right
so
here.
thank you, Zev. Right now, the brackets are filling up as we can see. I can show the camera. Well, y'all probably can't see that, but we'll give y'all the synopsis.
We'll put a graphic up.
So far, we got Auburn who beat St. Francis 83-63, spanked them. Then we got Creighton beating Louisville 89-75. Michigan upsetting UC San Diego, not an upset, but more so a close game, 68-65. Texas A&M, they went over Yale 80-71. So in the next brackets, we got Auburn versus Creighton, Michigan versus Texas A&M. Ole Miss beat the brakes off of North Carolina. I didn't even get the final score on that, but we know Ole Miss just whooped their ass. Iowa State came out on top against Lipscomb, 82-55. Then we go down the bracket. We're going on the West bracket. That was the South bracket. We're on the West bracket. On the West bracket, we got Colorado State that beat Memphis 78-70. Then we got Drake, who beat Missouri last night, 67-57.
Drake.
Drake. We got Texas Tech coming off of UNC Wilmington, 82-72. So that would put Drake against Texas Tech. Colorado State will be playing Maryland at this point because Maryland beat dog breaks off of Grand Canyon. Now we got Arkansas with 70. Arkansas beat Kansas 79-72. St. John's beat Omaha 83-53. God dog. And that was the West bracket. Now on the East side, we got Duke beating Mount St. Mary's 93-49. That happened today. That's a fucking blowout.
Only in college, man.
Cooper Flag.
Then we
man.
got Baylor beating Oregon. No, Baylor beating Mississippi State. Sorry, y'all. 72-75. Baylor up. So Duke and Baylor will be going at it in the next round. Then we got BYU beating VCU 80-71. Then we got Wisconsin going over Montana 85-66. So in that next round, we'll have BYU versus Wisconsin. Now we go to St. Mary's coming out on top against Vanderbilt 59-56. Alabama going over Robert Morris 90-81. Houston moving along to the next round. We got them 78 to SIU Edwardsville 40. Gonzaga, the sleeper team, 89. Georgia 68. So Gonzaga and Houston will be going at it in the next round. I don't think Gonzaga goes further than that, but I'm gonna be optimistic and be the underdog and say they will beat Houston.
High school team.
McNeese beats Clemson 67-69. Purdue beats High Point 75-65 or 63. No, 63. 75-63. So McNeese and Purdue are going to the next round. I feel like Purdue is going to beat McNeese. Then we go down to the end of this bracket. We got UCLA 72, Utah State 62, 77 Tennessee, Wofford 62. So UCLA and Tennessee will be going out in the next round. The way these brackets are looking, if I can give you my prediction of who's going to be the winner of this whole tournament,
Yeah, who's in and who's win?
I'm gonna say Auburn.
Yeah, I gotta go.
That's a good choice. I'm going with Duke too.
Yeah.
But if I had to be like that contrarian, I would ride with like Florida. Maybe I like Auburn though.
If you really want to be
Houston probably.
Nah, if you really want me to be that guy, Gonzaga.
Now, if that happens, you really getting some house money off that.
Yeah.
Gonzaga wins it all. But see, that's the thing.
I'm the biggest
Gonzaga is number 8.
I've always been a
They
Duke.
always do
in
that.
that
I
region.
do have one
But-
question.
I've always been a Duke
Yeah,
fan.
go
though.
ahead.
I got one question.
What?
So, you guys are talking about the team you think is going to take it all.
Mhm.
What do you guys think are the odds of seeing a number 2 seed fall? to
Oh,
a
really?
15-seeded team this year.
Really, really high. Actually.
Yeah, really high.
Actually,
Actually,
it might have already
couple
happened.
I'm about to say
happened, I
it
think.
actually.
You said what you said number 2 seed?
Yeah.
Let's look.
Actually,
Yeah,
actually, I think
number
I don't think a 2
being
seed is.
knocked off by a 15 seed.
Yeah, 2 seed has
Because
one. A
from
15 seed
Oh,
has one.
oh, yeah, no,
the bracket
see,
is
nah.
looking right now, the odds of a number 1 seed of getting knocked off is low.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
looking at it right now. So Tennessee was the number 2 seed. Wofford was the 15 seed. They beat Wofford.
What about
St.
Michigan
John's
State
beat-
and Bryant? Did they already play?
Michigan State. Oh no, they play tonight.
Yeah, so maybe that
So
could be
so
it.
that so that
That'll
can
be
be
the
that
one
can
we
be the
look
game.
out
Hey,
for.
shout out Bryant. I'll be rooting for Bryant. You know?
I'll be rooting for Bryant too.
let's go.
We'll keep updates on that game and we'll post to our socials. Keep
What,
Norfolk
yeah.
State
That's what
is
the
getting
NCAA
blown
tournament is
out
all
the
about.
water.
Oh my
bro.
God.
Upsets, though, man.
Jesus.
So Norfolk State
Is
is
that
getting
14 to 42?
14 to 42. Norfolk State against Florida. They're getting blown out right
And I
now.
hate
in
Come
real
on,
time.
bro. What I said? I just
You
said
said
Florida.
Florida. You did say Florida.
Stop sleeping.
You did say
Florida
Florida.
ain't no joke.
I'm not even gonna
I
catch.
feel
You did
bad
say
this has to
Florida.
happen in Norfolk State though. Like
Yeah.
Norfolk State is dope. It's a dope school. You know.
It is.
Yeah.
So we're
In
gonna put, I'm
Virginia,
gonna
shout out
move
Norfolk
Florida
State. You know
on.
what I'm saying? Shout out my Spartans.
We got.
Who
Like,
y'all got winning
support these
between?
VA
Who y'all
teams.
got winning between UConn and Oklahoma?
That's a good one. I think probably UConn.
Yeah, I was saying
8
UConn.
9. UConn 8. Oklahoma 9.
That's a toss up right there.
Yeah, it is. It's a
That's
toss
a real
up.
toss
I'm
up. Because the thing about
gonna
it
be
is,
that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna say Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
because the thing about it is that over, I want to say roughly like the past like 10 to 15 years, though, the 8 and 9 seeded games have always been,
Like crazy.
literally a
Yeah.
toss up
Mhm.
Yeah.
in the tournament.
Like the 5-12s too. That's
Yeah,
a,
the
that's
same
a
thing
good
with
one. Yeah.
5-12 though.
Yeah.
If you literally have two teams that are within like that are right there in the middle, that 8 and 9,
Yeah.
you're going to see a back and forth. Though,
All right,
because
so-
you can't really determine who is.
All right,
gonna
so
win that.
to fill out the rest of these first rounds, Marquette or New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
say,
cold. They're cold.
I'm gonna say New Mexico on that one.
They got cold players on New Mexico.
Michigan State and Bryant. Bryant, right?
Yeah, I'm rocking with Bryant.
I'm gonna rock. I'm gonna play it
I
safe.
think Michigan State
I'm
will
gonna do a safe bet. I'm gonna do Michigan State.
I'm going
If
Michigan
I had to
State.
fill out the bracket though, I'll go Michigan State.
That's why I'm doing that now. So
I actually-
I'm
my
feeling
only
it. I'm
real
feeling in the
upset-
first rounds.
When I did my own with some other friends, basically I only had McNeese, I think, as an upset. And for some reason I picked Montana over Wisconsin. I think I was looking at Wisconsin like I don't like
All right, so if we go to
Not like I don't like
if we go to the
Wisconsin,
East bracket, Oregon and Liberty, who you got winning?
Oregon.
Oregon.
I got Oregon too.
Even though Liberty's a Virginia team, but hey.
Who Oregon playing?
it's not the best.
Liberty.
Liberty.
But Liberty is actually one of the only schools, other than like I think a couple SEC schools,
Alright.
outside the SEC, right, that has the men's team playing the tournament and the women's team playing the tournament.
All right, so what about Liberty and Arizona? Who you got winning? I'm gonna go with Arizona.
Arizona probably. Arizona. Oh, you're actually going into the second.
Yeah,
round?
no,
Okay, okay.
I'm filling out the rest of the first round brackets. I'm filling out the rest of the first round brackets. All right, and the last two we're gonna do, because I got everything else is full. Illinois, and Xavier.
That's a good one. Xavier usually a shocking team. But I think
I'm gonna go with Illinois.
Illinois might actually have some good players this year. I
I'm gonna go
haven't
with
seen any
Illinois.
games, but I think I've heard something about their.
All right, in the last game, Kentucky and Troy.
Kentucky.
I'm going with Kentucky. Kentucky is a basketball.
That's my
school.
team. That's my
And
team.
they're
Yeah.
actually up right now too, so it's not a bad.
Yeah.
It's a safe bet.
All right, so
But I can't get over this Florida
this
Yeah.
Florida game is
Norfolk
insane.
State
Hey, you know
game.
what's
This-
even crazy too? The guard. They were just talking about the guard before the game, like the pregame. Brian Thomas Jr. He's cold. He's averages like 18.3 points per game.
So
Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
I think.
So I'm gonna ask y'all two, who in y'all opinion, who is the top team right now going forward? Like in your mind, Duke, right?
They just have the best.
Would you
talent.
agree?
I would say Duke is the top team, but I'm gonna be that guy and be optimistic and say Auburn.
Okay.
Just like
And I asked that because I wanted to get into because I agree Duke is the
Yeah.
top team,
Mhm.
and based off of what we've seen from Cooper Flag, right?
Mhm.
And I wanted to get your take on
oh yeah,
Cooper Flag
he's
and
cold.
his how he's been balling this year and
He's cold.
where
yeah.
you see him going in moving forward.
Yeah, Cooper Flag. He's an incredible player. He's cold. I'm a big fan of bro. He's just the coldest white boy ever, man.
Yeah, let's call it what he
Bro,
is. He's a
bro, be
cold white
dripping.
boy.
Bro,
White
yeah.
man can jump.
Bro, but that's how it is, and that's the vibe he gives. Even his parents is buying into that. They in the stands doing money. Like, come on, man, I love
Yep.
it. But as far as like his talent, he definitely deserves to be a top NBA prospect. He was a top prospect coming out of high school. Everybody expects him to be a one and done this year, along with a couple other people on Duke. So
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing about Duke. Their turnover rate is crazy on the team. They barely have like I've never seen a Duke senior start.
Wow.
There probably has been, but I never personally seen it like in my life.
it's a
Maybe
good.
I'm not paying attention.
It's a good. No, they're so good at talent.
Talent,
right?
yeah.
They keep their team young.
Yeah, exactly.
Their players
They recruit good.
usually be one and done, if not two.
But
That's a good point.
I think Carl had a good take the other day. Cooper Flag should probably stay low key because of the
Yeah,
NIL deals.
Yeah, the NIL deals is going to help.
NBA is not a fun place.
As
to be
long
right
as
now.
long as he puts in the work and it doesn't affect his draft stock,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it wouldn't hurt to stay at least one more year.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know?
that's absolutely true.
right. And the college season is a lot shorter than the NBA
Yeah,
season. Anyway,
yeah.
So yeah, you got time to develop, hone your skills. You know what I'm saying? You know Mike is still calling you on the phone.
Yeah.
Coach K is still calling you on the phone.
Coach K, yeah,
calls you
he-
up, so
Yeah.
you're in
Hello,
good hands.
hello, are you there?
I know, right?
I love Coach K, man. That's
I know.
that's
Shout
one
out
of my
Coach K,
favorite
man.
coaches.
You know
Shout
my
out Coach
favorite
K.
thing about him? Not too many people realize this dude was in the military.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a
Yeah.
militant mind.
Remember the Olympic Games? when he was coaching?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a
Yeah.
militant mind.
He was like a decorated military member too, Vietnam hero actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But that'll wrap up our college football segment. We'll keep y'all posted on
College
games.
basketball.
I'm sorry, college basketball segment. We'll keep y'all updated on the games as they go on. The next subject is a very, very intense subject for all three of us. It's more so of a debate, if you will. We're going to talk about the NBA GOAT, what we think is the GOAT, or who are our top 3, top 5, whatever you want to call it. But let's start off by I'll say my GOAT, then y'all can say yours, then we'll get into the debate. My NBA GOAT, I'll start off by saying my favorite player is Kobe Bryant, right? I've been arguing for him for years, but I've came to terms with I have to go with Michael Jordan. He's my NBA GOAT. So who's your NBA GOAT?
Me?
Yeah.
You want to start with me first?
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, look, it's no disrespect to. All right, before I even get my take, you gotta understand, basketball is a game of finite elements. Does that make sense? Like a lot of different factors contribute to how well you can score and when you win and the times you win and stuff, right? I'll keep it 100% G-Stack honest. There's nobody better at winning a basketball game than Michael Jordan. However, as far as the best basketball player, I can't stand behind Jordan after I already know Kobe's right there. I don't know, like everybody, I know people think Jordan is miles better than the rest of the league, miles better than the rest of the players, but the difference between Jordan and Kobe is maybe like a different team, a different coach, a different environment, right? Kobe Bryant willed himself into being an NBA champion, Hall of Famer, and basically one of the best sports athletes of all time. Michael Jordan, he did the same thing. The guy quit basketball. He quit basketball. I want to say something else, but they asked me not to say it. But you guys know what he did. He did something to his daddy.
I mean, we had gambling issues.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
He's not a role model, and that's not like it plays a part, but that's the appeal of LeBron as far as the GOAT debate. So why not incorporate it into?
And that comes from his competitiveness, you know, like
yeah, he's very competitive. Yeah, but yeah, as far as my GOAT, Kobe Bryant is my GOAT of basketball. He's my GOAT of basketball. If I had to pick a person to watch basketball, like play every day, on loop, it's Kobe. I know you want to pick Jordan, but I can't.
He will wow you every single game. Every single game. He'll do something every year, just like damn.
Exactly.
And that kind of plays into why I have Kobe as my GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's easy to say Jordan, you know, because we watch. You know what I'm saying? We know his history. We know what he did. He built a dynasty. He three-peated 2 times back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a lot of people can say that. He three-peated, took a break, came back and three-peated. Like, not a lot of people can say that. So
never lost in the finals.
I can't
never went to a game 7 in the finals.
I can't discredit him on his game and his work ethic. Michael Jordan set the precedent for what it is to be an actual basketball player of caliber. But Kobe took that blueprint and said, "Hey, I'm gonna make it a better one." It's the reason why the man dropped 81 points in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and set out
the rest of the game after that.
Coldest performance ever.
But people don't realize what Kobe did to the game. Like, just like Jordan contributed to the game, Kobe contributed to the game. Kobe gave you what we always say, the Mamba mentality, how to strike, how to be consistent with your work, how to be mindful of how you move when you're doing things, like the competitiveness, keeping that competitiveness into the game.
He
always honing your skills and perfecting your craft, like you just said, Zell. And to piggyback off what you were about to say, he always made sure that when it came to the game, he's going to show you that this is the level of game that he's going to give you. He never slighted his game. He never stepped his game down. He never did none of that. He always gave his best foot forward, even being hurt. If he was hurt, he would still play. We saw the man he was the first person with the glove jump. He had the glove when he was number 8, when he had the fro. He had the glove. He was the first person with the pass.
The man won a championship with a broken finger.
Yeah. And he had it for a long time too.
Yeah.
Like he had it
throughout
the whole season. Oh no, it gave him trouble, remember?
Well,
and
he had
to
trouble,
brace it
but
up.
he hurt it again in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He had the little brace on his finger, and he won a championship.
Jordan had flu game. He had broke things.
Yeah.
Like,
Kobe had plenty of
a flu game, broke game. I'm him. You ain't.
But
Jordan, I'll say this though, Jordan in the finals, you can't even. You can't repeat that in sports.
It's not comparable.
Yeah,
you understand? Like, I understand Kobe is 5-2. He won 5. He lost 2. That's very good. You feel me? Jordan is 6-0.
Yeah.
2 3-peats, 2 different 3-peats.
That's
crazy.
That's different.
6 finals MVPs.
Now, but basically, what I was gonna say was
that's different.
Just to add context to it. I mean, people back in the day, they used to argue that Magic Johnson was better than Jordan when Jordan was playing. And people have amnesia, but go talk to your uncle that's like 50 years old.
Yeah, my dad.
He'll tell you his favorite player is Magic Johnson. I swear to God.
Favorite player was Magic.
Yeah.
He used to hate Jordan. He said that.
Yeah.
He said, but he still liked him because of the way he played.
Because the way he played.
But he was a Lakers fan, so like.
That's probably what the type of apprehension people have when watching Kobe in their.
That's how it makes sense because.
Same thing with LeBron.
Yeah.
So like. There's always gonna be that guy. He's the guy, right? And then another guy comes along. The guys' fans gonna hate the upcoming guys' fans because that's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, that really stems from a lot of players. A lot of players that's been in the league. People will tell you AI is their favorite basketball player.
I have no problem with that.
People will tell you that Carmelo Anthony is their favorite basketball player, even if he don't got no rings. I said people have certain basketball players they're attached to because of how they watch them. Like people would say the same thing about Penny Hardaway.
We had a golden era though watching basketball.
Oh yeah, we had the best era.
We had the best era.
I don't care what nobody said.
Yeah, I don't care anybody say.
can't.
All y'all Magic and Bird
Yeah,
fans,
whatever. That
cool,
goofy
but
ass
it was nothing like the late '90s,
The late
early
90s,
2000s.
I got to
2000s
see-
basketball.
I got to see LeBron and Kobe face multiple times in my life. I got to see Steph and LeBron face multiple times. I got to see
Man, look,
Allen Iverson
Stephon
face Kobe
Marbury,
multiple times in my
Yeah.
life. That's crazy.
Shaq when he was with Penny.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was kind of little around
Steve
that.
Francis.
Tim Duncan before he's where he was at with him and David Robinson.
Yeah.
Road boy Tim Duncan. That's such a
Yeah.
name right there.
I can go on forever, man. Like
It's a lot of
AI.
yeah, it's a
When
lot
he
of
was
players.
when he was with Matumbo.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
That
don't
was crazy.
realize.
They don't realize that.
A lot of people don't remember. What's his name? Because he
Andre Iguodala.
and
Andre
Iguodala.
Iguodala.
Equal
he
dollars.
played
It's not
with-
He was
equal dollars. Equal
cold,
dollars.
Yeah.
cold
He was
little young
cold.
He was,
boy,
bro, he was
went
nasty.
nasty.
nice little young
But
boy.
he went crazy when he went after the Warriors.
At that time in the league, it was him and the dude from Golden State.
Monte Ellis.
No, not even Monte Ellis, older than him.
Oh, you talking about before that?
Baron something. Baron
Baron
something.
Davis.
Baron Davis. Him and Baron Davis, bro, cold. Cold as
Oh yeah, Baron Davis
cold
was
as
a,
hoopers.
Baron
Baron
Davis was a
Davis
gangster.
Yeah.
Baron Davis was a
He,
gangster.
Yeah.
he was too rough off the court to be like.
Baron
Like,
Davis
they,
was a
they
gangster.
would never give Baron Davis his props.
Jason
Another-
Richardson too.
Oh,
yeah.
The
man.
slam dunk contest.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
number
Legendary.
that's it's the reason why he had number 23.
I don't care what
Yeah.
nobody say.
That's
His slam dunk contests were like at least second to Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that he,
Yeah.
Jason
him,
Richardson
him, and
was a
him and
beast.
Jason Richardson, I think they went at each other one
Yeah.
year. Like, and Vince Carter won that year when he did the
Yep.
honey dip.
But before
When he
that,
put his
Jason
arm in, when he
Richardson
put his
Like,
whole arm
it's
in the
so
rim.
crazy. I love that player profile like that. Iguodala, Sean Kemp type, like roughhousing dude. That's why it was so dope to see Derrick Rose come in, and you wanted him to be in the conversation
Man,
we're
look.
having too, man. And I
Derrick
thought he was gonna
Rose,
get there.
You already know. Derrick
Yeah,
Rose
that
is my
that-
boy,
hey,
man.
Derrick Rose
Oh
is
my
his
God.
man's. I can honestly
Derrick
say,
Rose, man.
I can honestly say when me
Legend.
and Greg first became friends,
Mm.
he was like when we seen Derrick Rose, like when all this shit transpired,
Yeah.
hey, Derrick Rose, man, he next up. He next to Kobe. He
Went
like,
toe to toe against the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm not saying he's by himself, but let's be real. Like,
I mean,
kinda
Joakim
bu-
Noah.
Joaquin Noah, Tyus Gibson,
That's one of my favorite.
Uh,
names.
Lawal
Ben
Deng,
Gordon.
Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon was cold too.
Yeah,
He was.
Hey, Ben Gordon.
Wasn't he like British too? He was like British, right?
I
who
forget.
else
Yeah.
they had on their team at that time? Cause
Lawal
Um,
Deng,
Luol Deng,
Little
yeah.
dude, Nate Robinson was on.
Nate
the team.
Robinson.
yeah.
And he was kind of cold.
He
though
was
at that
cold.
time,
Yeah,
bro.
in the
but
slam dunk contest he was doing at the time was crazy.
he
Yeah.
got colder when he went to the Knicks.
Yeah, he was nastier. Yeah, you're right.
He hit them threes, boy. Like,
Nate
Yeah.
Robinson was spanking shit when he was with the Knicks,
I
though.
tell you, we had the what's his name? Not Porzingis. It's the it was like the Porzingis. Oh, Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen.
Markkanen, yeah.
Well, that's kind of more recent, but
Yeah.
he kind of overlap, I think, with.
I don't think he was with the team. I'll have to look it up, but
All right.
we kind of went off on a tangent about
Yeah,
the,
but
the
we
Golden
know
Days,
who
but-
the
NBA
Golden-
lore in this podcast is deep.
But
trust me.
that's another
Yeah.
reason why like Kobe's my favorite.
Mhm.
I still have Jordan as the GOAT, and I know I'm about to give points to Kobe, but it's like that man went through like some legendary players, like, and I want to give Carmelo his flowers, man, because a lot of people don't realize he's one of the best, if not, you could argue the best scorer of all time, bro.
Yeah,
like in his prime,
underrated for sure.
my gosh, bro, nobody can stop him.
Coldest, bro.
Like his bag was too, like he do anything,
Yeah.
anything, bro.
Yeah.
What's it called? The hoodie mellow.
Oh yeah, Hoodie
Oh, he was
Melo
cold
with the
then.
Knicks.
I'm talking about the cornrows too, though. Come on, bro. Like
Cornrows
if you
is crazy.
if you do your math,
Mhm.
LeBron coming in with him, LeBron was always he was always looked at as like the chosen one, right?
Mhm.
But Carmelo was that nigga.
But like even out in Denver, right when
Yeah.
he was with AI, it was AI,
Yeah.
Carmelo, and what's the big dude
Eric
name?
Snow.
Eric Snow was there too. Yeah,
The white dude.
big light skin dude, big light skin dude on Denver.
Ellis.
No,
I
he's
forget.
kind of like I want to say it's Carlos Boozer, but he's not.
Nah, it wasn't Boozer.
It's
'Cause Boozer was on the Bulls.
it's whatever. And the Mohawk dude, he was on that team too.
Yeah, Birdman.
Birdman.
Birdman,
Yeah.
yep.
That was a cold team. They went to the
they went to the finals. They lost
finals.
though.
Yeah.
They were just slum because they wasn't too good on
No, they
defense.
said that's what they said.
Well, he's kind of falling off around that time. Things just different.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
back to the GOAT debate. Like I said, Jordan's my GOAT. You know, y'all have Kobe. Kobe's still my favorite, and I could argue as many points about Kobe, but it's just what I've seen from Jordan, and just that competitive spirit.
Right.
It came before him.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Larry Bird. He
was cold.
he had that mentality, bro. He was not playing.
He was cold.
Yeah.
That man was too cold.
Bro, he used to hate everybody.
Call
He
that boy
used to
too
cuss
cold.
out everybody.
Call that boy too cold Scorpio. That boy was spanking shit.
That's probably the great. And
Hey,
I'm
but
not trying to make shit about
to be like
race,
LeBron's
but
advocate too, low-key, because we haven't really talked about it too much. His story not necessarily done, but the conversation as far as like the GOAT debate is almost pretty much tied.
The only thing that he has in that conversation is longevity.
Longevity
And the
crazy.
stats. And the stats.
The
Let's
stats
see
are
the
crazy.
Those are two things that he got. The stats.
a
and
lot of
longevity.
things have transpired
It's
to
probably a
where
good time to
I
talk
won't be able to put him there. Like, you know, his finals record, his the amount of help he's had along the way, and like Kobe and Jordan have both been a part of a dynasty. LeBron has never been a part of it. Dynasties have been made on behalf of him. So that's why I don't put LeBron as a GOAT. He's top 3. You can argue that. I mean, at this point, I really can't put anybody above him in the top 3. Like he's my 3. It's always gonna be Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron.
But I can't lie to you though. Steph Curry won like 2 more rings.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be real with you. He's third.
Yeah.
He's
right there.
He gonna be teetering towards that 2-on-1
Yeah, I'm
spot.
saying LeBron, you got some.
If
Curry
Curry gets 7 rings, bro, he's the
Because
GOAT.
Curry got 5, right?
Yeah, no. He got
3.
4.
Okay.
He's been at 5, right?
Yeah,
He
he got 4. Yeah,
that's a crazy record too.
he right underneath LeBron.
Yeah, he right on Jordan.
He
got 2 more rings.
He got more rings. He was beating LeBron in rings
a couple years ago.
Think about that.
Yeah,
man.
that is crazy.
I already knew that. That's why. That's when people say, "Oh, LeBron the GOAT." No, he not.
Come on, bro.
Curry was
And
smoking.
Curry got most of his rings against LeBron.
Yeah, against
What are we
If not,
talking about?
crazy.
And then I hate how people be like, "Oh well, he had KD." Do you realize he won? He beat him in
won
2015.
2 rings
I'm gonna
without
be
KD.
honest
He
with
beat
you.
him in
I'm gonna be honest with you.
2015 before
I'll
KD
be
got
honest
there.
with you.
2 MVPs also,
I'll be honest
where he
with you.
scored more than LeBron and KD
It's
in
more.
their
It's
prime.
more
In
players.
their prime. Come on.
Hold on.
Let's
One
talk.
more thing before you go.
Let's talk.
Also, a unanimous MVP.
Yeah, unanimous
It's
MVP,
more.
yeah,
It's more
yeah.
players
Last
that
person
won
to get
against
that was
LeBron.
Shaq.
It's more players that won against LeBron than LeBron beating most players. If you want me
Right.
to be honest with you, Curry beat LeBron, Duncan beat LeBron, Kawhi beat LeBron,
Dwight beat LeBron.
Dwight beat LeBron.
Are we talking about only finals?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
talking
yeah.
about the finals. Like I'm talking about the teams that he lost to when he was in the finals. Yeah,
Bro, I'm
He got
watching one
spanked.
of the women's tournament games earlier, and there's this girl, I guess like the women's Tennessee team that's going off. But bro, I think she had like 10 or 12 points, but like 5 minutes into the game because she's busting threes from the logo, and I'm like, this is Steph Curry's fault. But I because
And that-
that's how
and-
basketball
He changed the
is meant
game.
to
He
evolve,
changed the
yeah.
game. He changed the game.
So look, I'm gonna ask one question, and we can get into that real quick before we switch subjects.
Mhm.
What's y'all Mount Rushmore
That's 5, right? Or 4?
for?
4? I don't know why I thought Mount Rushmore had actual president. It doesn't have actual president, bro. It's just
Personally,
It's 4.
I don't know my presidents.
I would say
Who's the president now?
Kobe, Jordan, and LeBron, and I'm gonna do a personal attachment to me. I'm gonna say
Something wrong with that. As long as you don't say like,
it's a personal attachment.
as long as you don't say like LaMelo Ball or something.
Nah, I'm not gonna say nothing crazy, nothing crazy like that.
Hey, look,
I'm
look,
gonna
look.
say
He cold, boy.
I'm gonna say
He cold.
I'm gonna say
LaMelo's cold, bro.
as far as like impacting me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to say AI.
So it's like the best
That's-
players
that's
or
cool.
more impactful? Yeah, that's mine.
I was
gonna say the
I'm
best
gonna have to say
because
AI.
I was about to say impactful, but we're talking about GOAT status, right? So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with just as far as like GOAT status, like the best.
Okay.
So you said Kobe, Jordan, LeBron and AI.
Yeah, that's.
I love that. I love that list.
Yeah.
And I think I would go with the same. The only difference, I
You
love
can
AI.
swap out. You can swap out AI.
That's yours.
No,
It's
I
too
No, I'm
late.
saying no. I'm saying no. I'm saying no. I'm saying you.
That's
I'm
the
saying,
only other player.
If you,
I think
no, because you
that would
said you
make
fuck
that.
with that list. I said you fuck with AI.
I'm
So
talking
you
on
can,
one
you can swap,
person.
you can swap him out.
It's gonna be AI. As much as I love him, no Diddy. That's my nigga.
I would say
Like,
Curry,
VA, all of that.
too. Curry.
Curry.
Yeah, Curry.
Yeah.
Curry's
I
my
can see-
fourth.
Yeah.
I can see why you said.
Well, I think we know who's gonna be off mine.
Yeah.
I have to put him on myself. Okay, let's just do it. Michael Jordan.
Yep.
All right, but I'm gonna go with what Greg said. Steph Curry, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
You gotta
This
have
is where it
Kobe.
gets tricky. This is where it gets tricky.
You gotta have
I
Kobe.
have to decide between Kobe, LeBron, or AI. So I'm gonna go with Kobe.
You got to, because you say he's your GOAT.
I'll go with Kobe. What?
How you gonna have him as your GOAT and leave
What?
him off my Rushmore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did I say the same player twice?
Hold on.
All right, this is Rex's Mount Rushmore, y'all.
Kevin Garnett,
I knew you was gonna say that.
What?
Larry Bird, Michael Jordan.
Okay. It's actually not that bad.
I know.
I'm
I
overreacting.
know you want to say.
I'm overreacting.
Go ahead and
It's
say
not
Paul
that
Pierce. Go ahead and say it.
KG is kind of crazy though.
KG.
Low-key.
No, that's just
I
midnight.
can't lie. And as a Celtic fan, I gotta say Kobe, bro.
Okay.
Because bro, I just remember.
I don't know
being
why
a
you're about to
kid
take Kyrie.
watching those
Yeah.
games.
I can-
I remember because when I was born, Larry Bird was already retired.
Yeah.
But I just remember watching ESPN. And everybody loved Magic, and I thought Magic was dope, but my favorite color was green. And I also thought, how's this white boy who's sluggish as fuck
Yeah, it's cold.
still getting around?
Personally.
Motherfuckers hitting them threes.
Yeah.
That shit just was amazing.
You know,
Kevin Garnett, bro, when he was on the Timberwolves, he was cold. It's just the whole time, the whole team
They
wasn't
didn't build a
always
team
there.
around
So
him.
it was like
Yeah.
when he got traded to the Celtics, I felt like I did that shit with my mom, bro. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that shit was
Hey,
crazy.
nah,
But I can't lie to you. That Celtics team with Ray Allen.
Ray
Ray
Allen,
Allen, Paul Pierce,
Paul
Kevin
All
Garnett.
this team.
No, Rajon Rondo. Don't leave out Rondo.
I remember.
Can't leave out number
That was
9.
that was Hezzy Rondo too.
Yeah,
That was
you can't-
Hezzy Rondo.
You can't.
Bro, I watched that game. It was midnight. Nigga, I
I
ran
was
out the
hurt,
middle of the street.
bro.
I said,
Oh yeah, Lakers lost that game. I remember.
I was so hurt.
I remember that. Me and Greg was
Bro,
pissed.
I felt like
Greg was at my
Kobe.
crib. Greg was at my crib. I remember that
I
shit.
felt like Kobe.
We was in
I had
my room
tears in
watching
my
that
eyes,
jump.
like, we gonna get these niggas.
Hey, nah.
We
I
gonna get
remember
these
this.
niggas.
We was at my crib. This nigga Greg was like, all right, bro, I'm out. He got up and walked out.
Then the very next season, right?
Came back and spanked.
Oh no. We ended up going. They didn't go. So we went against them.
Let's
They-
play
they-
Houston, right?
Listen, they won the first one. The very next season, I think it was like 08, 09.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
We
know.
went. We was supposed to. We was gearing up to face LeBron, but LeBron lost against Dwight, so we beat Dwight. Kobe, like, man, I'm glad I won this, but no, I need to beat the Celtics. The very next season,
Celtics.
Lakers versus Celtics, and we whooped these niggas'
I
ass,
remember
bro.
that shit. 'Cause
That
nigga-
was that
nigga
last
Rex-
one.
Ass.
That nigga Rex was
I know I
like,
sound biased, but that last one was
That
the
nigga Rex-
greatest finals I've
Yeah,
ever seen.
that
was-
nigga Rex,
that was
I'll
the
never forget
biggest
that. 'Cause
I think we've seen it.
we was at my crib. Hey,
No, wow.
and if it ever came down to watching something, niggas will always go to my house. So I remember we was at my crib watching that joint, and the Celtics lost. That nigga Greg jumped out his damn seat. The rest was like, man, bro, y'all got it, bro. Like, he was so hot though. You could tell he's like, he said, but we won and one. Hey, that's the first thing he ran to. He's like, we won and one. We won and one. But respectfully, that series that they brought back that feeling of Baltimore. I said Baltimore, but Boston versus the Lakers. They gave back that
It's
feeling.
iconic, bro. You can't beat that. Like,
They
shout
gave back
out
that-
to LeBron and Curry and all them, but
Nah, you can't beat
that
that.
Lakers and Celtics shit, man, that was just next level, bro. And that moment, I was like, yeah, Kobe's that's my like.
But I
he's
can't-
GOAT.
I remember I
Like,
had the
The
live
Spurs,
when he was
and
on there.
Lakers face-offs during that time period
Those
used
cool
to
too.
be crazy.
Those are
Yeah.
cool too, but
Crazy.
that's why I
biggest
hate when
defenses, like,
that's why I hate when people try to compare like, oh, Tim Duncan's greater than Kobe. Bro, Kobe
says that?
whooped this nigga ass.
Who's
How
out
many
here saying that?
times?
who's
A
out
lot
here
of
saying
people. Trust me. A
Hey, if
lot
you're
of
out here
people.
saying that, go in the comments. I
Go in the
wanna talk to
comments
you.
and
talk to you.
and expose yourself.
No, but Tim Duncan a GOAT, but just to say that is kind of crazy.
I mean, because
Yeah.
you're gonna say that, then Robert Horry is the GOAT.
Robert Horry is the GOAT.
That's crazy. Y'all all right.
Nah, what I'm
Next,
saying,
all right, next subject. We off the GOAT talk on that one, but
Robert Horry is the GOAT.
we gonna now No, 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 no.
No,
No. Shout out to Robert Horry because he helped us win that ring when he hit that
You
quote.
don't really hear from
hit that
bro.
three.
That's the crazy part.
Nah, because he was wilding a couple years back
Really?
on the podcast he had or some shit like that.
Oh, he in the pocket?
He probably
we
saying
gotta
some.
clip that. We
Probably saying some wild
I said
shit.
probably. I don't know.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zev Royce here. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe so y'all don't miss a single episode of House Money ENT Podcast. And remember, the house always wins. On to we gonna touch on some music right now. Everybody's talking about. You already know. I Am Music, Playboy Cardi. Album of the year so far. Album of the year so far. Let's get our reaction to it. I'll start off with Carl.
All right, so
what's your reaction to I Am Music by Playboy Cardi?
I Am Music by Playboy Cardi. That shit slap. I do have my personal favorites, and then some songs I'm like, all right, come on, Cardi. So I went back and did my research because yesterday I was thinking about some songs, and I'm like, nah, this song's this song's that. But I went and listened to it this morning when I was at work. Overly.
Yeah.
I have to put Overly up there. That's one. That song is crazy.
That's crazy.
At first, I thought it was Future.
Right.
And I'm sitting here, me and Zell talking earlier. I'm like, yo, that's Future on that song. He's like, nah, that's Cardi. I looked at the writer credits. It's Cardi.
And it makes you like appreciate it more too. Like,
I'm just sitting there the whole time like, bruh, no, this is Future. Like they're lying to me. So I'm like, that song.
He's about to fight me, low key.
Nah, that song is dope as fuck.
Yeah.
We know Feeling Like Wheezy. Like Wheezy is probably the hardest song on there.
Yeah, I think it's
personally.
favorite,
That's the hardest song on there. Overall, I can say, realistically, in my opinion, I'm gonna say 20, 25 out of 30. It's 5 songs I could have did without. The 5 songs I can't tell you off the top of my head because I don't have it written down.
Yeah.
But it's 5 songs on there I know that I could have did without being on there. But every song that I do like, Trim, the song with both of the songs with Uzi, the Jump and Jump, Don't Do Them, yeah. The jump with Travis and Future, Charge a Holy Fee. Travis slid on. Travis slid on that whole. Every feature that Travis had on there, he slid on.
Yep.
The Rather Lie.
Now I'm trying to see them niggas make a project.
The Rather Lie jump with Weeknd and Cardi. All right.
Oh,
I found out some shit. I did early in the morning when I be doing my scrolling on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that was an AI verse.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, that
when
verse.
Cardi was singing those
verse,
notes.
Yeah,
they said that was AI.
that was AI. Yeah, and there's another song on there that has AI.
I don't know.
too.
Let me ask you a question: is he corny for that?
No. I don't think so because I'm not gonna lie to you. It
but
sounds the
then-
same if you did
but
it
then-
in person.
but then-
They edited it to make it
But
sound
then,
like AI.
as me knowing music and being in the studio and watching, they have pitch correction.
Yeah.
So it could have been a pitch correction thing. Yeah. So it may have sounded a little.
Because you know how a lot of people hate on AI. They be like, that's his corner.
Everything is AI now. If it's like something that's like smart or works quick. Like,
bro, don't fight against it. That's all I can say.
Hey,
right.
no.
Shout out to AI.
AI, man.
I'm
not gonna tell you what in the set is AI. There's something here.
I'm trying to stay on their good side.
Hey, look.
AI.
Look.
I fuck with the
Good
robots.
Look.
Don't come for me, bro.
Look.
When
And I be
you
charging my phone
when you
before I
take
go to
when you
sleep,
take
so I
over,
take care of y'all.
when you take over,
Look.
tell like be like that.
All I got
be
to
like
say.
the schools too to tell me don't come to school tomorrow.
Hey, look. I'm gonna say some real shit
I'm trying to
about
stay on
this.
AI
I'm gonna
good
say some
side.
real shit about this.
Yo, weak, bro.
Artificial intelligence has its good and its bad. Right now, what we're seeing is we get this, we can put anybody's vocals on this. The bad thing about that is they can take your vocals and say you said something that you never said, and then that can turn against you.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
We're talking to you, Drake.
People
use one day.
People like to manipulate AI. So it's good things that come with it for everything. That's like the internet. It's good and bad.
Let's use it to our advantage then.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
Yeah, and that's
everybody else gonna do it. Why not?
Yeah, and that's why you got ChatGPT.
Bro.
Yeah. I'm not saying like
Siri made my schedule for this last month.
Stuff like that. I'm not against that.
Siri know more about me than it should.
No, I'm not gonna have AI make like I'm not gonna make everything
somebody.
AI heavy,
Yeah.
and then try to claim that as like my work, because that's fraudulent.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
different, yeah.
that's different. But anything to like help us throughout, like make things easier, simple things easier. I'm not against it. But so what's your reaction to the album?
Just like we all said, it slaps. It's fire.
Yeah.
I'd say I really like the 30. I kind of like. I fuck with like maybe 27. I think
That's where I'm at with it.
there's like 3 songs. Okay, and I can actually name the 3 songs I don't fuck with because I actually think they don't belong on this album. They belong on a different album form because they're still good.
Mm-hmm.
The thug song.
Yeah.
Song with
Okay.
Thug.
That was one of the
That
songs.
song does feel random.
Yeah, that was
It feels like it should be on
the
Yeah.
the Thug and Ty Dolla $ign joint. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
one of the songs I had on there.
I feel like Uzi and Cardi finally need to do a tape together, but that Twin Trim song, I fuck with it, and I know like I told you you guys this week I fuck with it, but I think the reason why I'm starting now not to like it, there's no Cardi verse on it first of all,
It's just
and
Uzi.
it's short as hell.
Yeah.
So it makes me think like, bro, they could have both floated on this beat for sure, but he did that on purpose
Yeah.
to tease something. So
Yeah.
that is whatever. And then the obvious one is the intro song.
Oh yeah, Pop Out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Terrible.
All right, so that I'm glad you said that because I know what Pop Out is for.
Mhm.
I know why he has that song first.
Tune the ears.
It's to get you like, oh, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
But then you go to Crush and that production on Crush when it
That
first.
should have been the first song.
I feel it. Yeah, I feel
right.
like Crush should have been the first song.
Mhm.
The Philly joint, I fuck with.
Mhm.
Good credit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know that was a personal favorite between me and Zev.
Mhm.
The songs like you said, the Thug joint with Ty Dolla $ign, the Pop Out. It's another joint on there though. I know I'm gonna get ragged for this, but the Opium Baby joint, I can do without that song,
love
bro.
that
Yeah.
song.
I can do without
I
that.
love
that
that
when he
song.
start doing that little whining shit at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nah, I could do
I
without
love that song, but hey, overly though, woo! I'm about to be bumping overly also.
Well, what's your take there,
Crazy.
Zed?
I'm at where like my number wise I'm more so like where Zell is at. Like I would say 27, maybe 28 if I end up falling in love with another song, but I'm at like 27. It's like a few I could have went without too, but you know, you already know my cliche take is my 2 favorites are like Weezy and Good Credit.
Yeah.
The Future joint grew on me. I think it's Trim something.
Yeah,
Twin-
Trim. Yeah.
Twin Trim.
Twin Trim.
No, Twin Trim is the Uzi.
Oh, the
Okay,
other one,
okay.
Trim, is just
Yeah,
with
Trim,
Future on
yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah.
He shouldn't have done that.
That one's
he's
good.
gonna
Toxic
mess
joint.
up people's heads.
And of course, like I don't mention like the Tundra and
But HBA.
HBA
Goodbye,
because
and,
I've been listening to those for like the past
Goodbye,
year
Evil
and a half.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Evil Jordan.
Evil Jordan. Yeah.
Those would be my other ones that are like my favorites.
The
But
only
in my opinion, album of the year.
almost messed up.
Album of the year so far.
With that intro, that little drums in the beginning, like
That-
right
that
before
intro-
the beat
that
drops.
I liked it.
that
The
intro,
intro cold,
that intro
But
made
the
the song.
drums is crazy.
The
And he
intro
did the
made
same
that-
But
thing
they
on
did-
Goodbye Air. I don't fuck
What
with
made it perfect for me is that he didn't overdo it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
you're
stopped
He
right.
it
added
when
just
he was supposed to.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, oh shit, I hope the whole song.
Oh, damn!
ain't
Look
like
at
this.
you, Celtics.
Yeah, there
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
But
They making documentaries
great.
about you every year because y'all
Great.
be
Hold on,
winning every year,
stay
y'all.
on topic, stay on focus. Great album. 1 through 10, I'll say a solid 9. A solid 9 because it's only like 3 songs that I can go without out of 30 songs. You know how hard that is to do.
Yeah.
To say that,
Y'all should know that more than me because y'all are artists. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
27 songs.
What you rated, Rex?
28 songs out of 30 is crazy. 30 songs is crazy.
I'm gonna give it like a 7. And I don't remember every song. I would have to go back, but I remember saying I give it a high 7 when we first listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the bike can hear me.
Yeah,
No, I can hear you.
we can hear you.
Yeah, here's
No,
That's
it's
good.
picking up.
yeah. But yeah, when we first listened to it, I remember just saying I gave it a high 7. There were tracks I was like, I could have did without. I don't remember what those songs are, so I gotta go back and actually listen to it. But from what I can recall, I know I really liked Olympian. I thought that beat was dope.
Yeah,
I
that's good.
forgot about
Yeah, I
that
forgot
song.
about
That
that
shit
too.
is
I
great.
don't
Yeah.
That joint is hard.
Even though everybody always be like, Cardi don't say anything, like that was a song I felt like he didn't really say much on it. He could have went way harder. The song could have been way longer, in my opinion.
Right. The beast.
I'm just trying to remember some of the songs I read. Like they said, the first song, Crush should have been the first song. Because the fact is, the production on Crush alone with the vocals,
The
in
vocals, the
should've
choir
been
and
me
stuff.
Crush,
Yeah.
like, bro, that cause, and even though
I
like,
hated
it's a
that
weird
song
topic to
so
start off a
much.
project, it just
I hated
sounds
that
so
song
Right.
so
fucking
much.
good.
It
to
does,
me, bro.
yeah.
So like the features were dope.
Yeah, features
Kendrick
was
was sliding.
cold. Kendrick was.
I
Travis
forgot
was
Mojo
sliding.
Jojo.
Mojo
Yeah,
Jojo
that's
is
that is
crazy.
Yeah,
another.
I think Mojo, from what I remember, Mojo Jojo.
It was solid.
The beat is cold,
were
though.
just enough, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, imagine having like a 12-song project, you got that many features, then it's gonna feel stuck.
It's oversaturated.
Yeah.
It's like you got 30 tracks on there, and then the thing is, with this generation now, niggas' attention spans is so like
So
all over
crazy.
the
Yeah.
place. But the fact that a lot of the songs only like 2 to 3 minutes,
He knew what
shows
he
you
was
that,
doing.
like you can go through all that shit.
It's
and
actually
still flow.
Yeah.
some of them. If I'm not mistaken, I have to go through it again. It's actually some of them that were like a minute 40.
Yeah,
literally,
something like that. Yeah,
That's
it doesn't
crazy.
even feel
It's
that
I
way.
would have to go back and
It's
rewatch
crazy.
it. From what I remember, I'm gonna give it a high 7.
It's
like low 8.
I
It's
respect
crazy that you brought up the shortening of the songs, like how short the songs are.
Yeah.
Me and Taj had this conversation a while back. Shout out to Taj. He was like, "Man, I'm gonna make a project called 2 Minute Drill." And I was like, "Why are you doing that?" He was like, "Because people don't listen to songs over 2 minutes."
Not at all.
And the only time people that listen to songs over 2 minutes, if they listen to Brent Fayez or some shit,
Or like some like
R&B shit.
not trying to put them in that like some conscious stuff, you know.
No, I said from what I've been noticing, like as far as like if there's a song that's long, it's gonna be like an R&B song, like I
No,
said,
but
like
I have been noticing
like
rap
J
songs
Cole,
have been getting shorter.
J Cole's gonna drop a song at least. Coast Contra, they
Yeah.
drop like an 8-minute song.
It depends on the listener, though.
Every year, I make a playlist of what songs are dropping that year, right? And it ranges from electronic, hip hop, rock. It does depend on the listener. But there are like some artists that nobody's talking about that are still getting hella listens that are making 3-4 minute songs that are getting listens. But it depends on
Like
on the
what
artist.
type of artists you think I could say? Like what's the profile of the artist that you might be talking
I
about?
would have to actually look at my shit, but there's this one girl named Samara Sin that I think is.
Oh yeah.
She makes like, I can't even really kind of categorize her, bro, but she can make conscious to like, she be spitting. Like, so Lauryn Hill just had her at her show. So that's
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good
yeah,
co-sign.
she's like new. Like not a lot of people even know who she is, but she's new. And
it's kind of what happened with the what's the girl's name? Doechii. It's kind of what
Doechii,
happened with Doechii,
yeah,
but
yeah,
she's
that's
been
what
out
I'm
for a
saying,
long
like,
time. You know,
she
Doechii
has,
for a
the
long
first
time.
song I heard her on was Isaiah Rashad.
Yes, yeah, on that
Like,
track. Yeah, I
I've
know
never
what you're talking
heard
about
her
too.
before that.
That
So
project that
it's
you
like-
used on it, yeah.
It does depend on the listener, but the thing is that we can't just base off of what we know just in our bubble. And the reason I is because think about the Tyler the Creator DJ Khaled thing. I'm bringing it back, but I don't make weird music. And the thing is, we can walk around where we live at. We can go down to wherever and still not hear these artists, but those artists are still selling millions and whatnot. You know, just because they're not in our bubble don't mean that they're not popular.
They're not popping,
There's a lot of niggas I know that don't listen to Tyler, but that nigga Tyler is selling out arenas. Bro.
He's big.
That's kinda like-
He has a
that's
big,
like when
he has a
you
big
try to
foreign
shit on
following
him.
too,
Yeah.
like a huge foreign following.
That's like when what's the name said what he said about him. I'm like, bro, like, what do you mean he doesn't have no memorable verses? Like,
Oh yeah, we're not gonna talk about bro.
name,
That's that-
name redacted.
Yeah, two names redacted on the show now.
Yeah,
I learned yesterday the hard way.
There's
The
a
first
group me and Carl listen to called Paris, Texas, and they make and we listen to them, and Kenny Mason, and these are
Kenny Mason.
rappers that make like rap, but they also make like
Rock
rockish
music.
type.
Yeah,
shit.
It's like
they
an
do.
alternative.
Yeah.
And a lot of niggas be like, "Who the fuck is that?" But these niggas are now Paris, Texas is now on tour with
Tyler the Creator.
So
Yeah.
it's like, bro, you don't know what the fuck is really going on because there's so much music.
Paris,
being
Texas.
pumped out.
What project were they on someone else's project before?
There's a lane. That's all it is.
There's a lane, there's a lane for everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Like, as close-minded as shit is right now, there's still a lot of people
Actually,
listening. There's a billion people
actually, it's more open minded than we think.
Than what, yeah, it really is.
It's more open minded than what we think because I feel like people are more connected to music solely in different aspects than we never seen. It's the reason why he made I Am Music.
Yeah,
Because he knew he was going to push barriers that most people won't do.
He has a lot of
Yeah.
fan base, bro.
Yeah, and he know his fan base is going to fuck with it wherever
Yeah,
he
he has
drops.
and props to him too.
a faithful and loyal fan base.
It's a flagship album. for music, like not for music, for rap. It's a flagship album for rap. I can already tell that because of the sonics on it, and kind of like the precursor of Cardi was this big gap of when he dropped the project, people waiting on it, and then that time period since a bunch of discourse like niggas like Ebro on the airwaves like like Cardi sucks, and
it's a reason why Kendrick called him his evil twin.
Not like I hate Ebro, but like I hate hearing them talk about people like Cardi or like Yeet or something because they be disrespectful when they talk about him and they put crap into their.
Where fucking Ebro was like telling Uzi like, we'll see if you be here in 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
You know the thing, like I know we're talking. I'm trying to wrap this up, but the thing that is, I remember when a lot of the SoundCloud rappers were coming out, or just trap music, and I remember like everybody was listening to it, and I hated it at first. But then I got to a point where it was like I was watching Ebro, I was watching Charlamagne, and I was like, these niggas are hella negative, bro.
Yeah, they're haters, man.
And then I just remember being around some of the niggas I was around because shit wasn't like Dipset, D Block anymore. Like, we started transitioning, and I started getting to a point where I was like, "Oh, I don't like this. Y'all niggas are being so negative about this shit." So I just opened my ears and started really listening, bro. That's when I started getting into like Yachty, Lil B, and like a bunch of other motherfuckers. But what I'm just saying is that music's going to continue to grow, no matter what people's attention span is. It's up to you to be open to it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like, you don't like it. But don't come with this negativity of like, it ain't like this. Times are going to keep changing.
Yeah. Right. Because we all three of us are able to tell you that boy Yeet, we some big fans.
No, Yeet got some
big
shit.
fans.
I don't hate Yeet.
I
I personally like think he's okay, but like I hear songs a lot, and I'm like, this shit dope. You know what I mean? Like,
it's what he does sonically with his music. It's in the same arena as people like Cardi and Ken Carson, but he adds something different to it. But
all right, next subject up, we're gonna get into some wrestling, some WWE, AEW, Untitled Wrestling. I think we gotta talk about it. John Cena turning heel. It's the biggest thing happening in wrestling right now. I'll get y'all's take on that real quick.
So Monday, we watched John Cena cut a promo as far as saying he's breaking up with the fans. He's not a heel. He's not a babyface. He's human. And what I took from that promo of him saying all that stuff is he's not wrong. His heel turn is actually justified. Reason why I say it's justified is because think about the years when he started winning. Everybody got tired of him. That's where the John Cena sucks narrative came. That's where the 5 moves of doom came. So all these things, they start putting these tangents on his name because they hated to see him win because he was the token. He was the chosen one. And that's why he said, I feel like a robot that y'all try to control and that y'all try to just make seem like y'all, like I'm doing this for y'all. I was doing this for me. He said, hustle, loyalty, and respect. I believe that. That's me. He said, y'all wear the shirt because it make you feel good. This is what I do. So when I'm looking at what he's saying, and I didn't think about this until later on after this whole thing happened. He didn't mention The Rock once. He didn't say his affiliation to The Rock. He never explained the Travis Scott stuff. He didn't say nothing. All he did was explain why he feel like he needs to do what he has to do right now. So that leaves an open element of where does The Rock come? Where's The Rock come in? Does that equate to what's going to happen at WrestleMania? Like, what are we going to get from that? And I'm actually happy that he's heel because it gives us a better dynamic of matches that we wouldn't think we would see in this element. All right, so we got heel John Cena versus a babyface Roman Reigns. Last time they fought, it was the other way around. You got CM Punk versus John Cena, a heel John Cena. The last time they fought, CM Punk was a heel. You got Randy Orton versus John Cena. The last time they had a feud, Randy Orton was the heel. So that gives a better dynamic to the whole atmosphere of what they're trying to do with his last run, because his last run ends probably in November, December. It's a couple months, probably 5-6 months left.
And I don't.
He's in the late 40s.
I think he's like 46, 47.
But like the year he came out was like
2003.
2002.
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
Wow.
He started training in 2001. He debuted in 2002, and he's been.
And he was wrestling before that. He was in the Indies before that.
Yeah.
No, before that, he had a tryout in WCW because he was actually in the Ready to Rumble movie. If you really know your
Damn.
research.
I did not know that.
He was in the Ready to Rumble movie. He was in the background. He was an extra. He was lifting weights in the back because at first he was a weightlifter. He was that's what he was doing before, and then somebody told him like got in his ear was like, "Yo, you should try wrestling." So then that's when he was going. He went to WCW. WCW went out of business. So the next thing you're going to go to OVW, which is the Ohio Valley Wrestling, which is a branch underneath WWF at the time.
What's his name? Merge those? Didn't he merge that company?
That's what the OVW was, the developmental program for WWE. It's like an NXT, how NXT is to wrestling today. So that's where at OVW at that time they had John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, and Batista. So they all came out. They all started in that same class.
That's their era.
And then all of them became household names. All four of them. That shows you that that's how you build wrestlers.
All right, so I got a question about the John Cena heel turn that I was thinking about the other night, and it plays into what you're talking about his age and stuff, right? So when I watched the
Hold on, real quick. Come closer.
When I watched the clip earlier, this week, I noticed that basically the crowd, it seemed like a lot of people who were supporting John Cena were like our age, a little bit younger, you know what I'm saying? And he still had the kids there. But do you think that his influence on the kids winning over the years, because of how long he's been playing, is like parallel to like LeBron's and like Kurt? You know what I'm saying?
It's exactly
a longevity problem.
It's like
all
all right,
or is it
all right.
like a personal problem when he turned heel?
No, I get what you're trying to say. It's like if LeBron was like, man, fuck the kids.
Yeah.
Fuck the admiration that I get from the people.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for me and my family.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the crowd cheering for me.
Yeah.
I don't get that's like LeBron. It's like LeBron turning heel.
Okay. Yeah.
LeBron, like Stephen Curry.
Yeah, and I hate to make that illusion, but
it gives you a better outline on how things are.
They both popped out around the same time, and they're both in the same.
Yeah, that is true.
Career, so it's actually dope to see both still doing their thing. But I just feel like they kind of have different paths, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, just like how John Cena was heel before, and a lot of people don't remember, like, the closest thing LeBron was to a heel was when he joined that super team.
When he was
They were the bad guys.
Yeah.
That was his heel.
People hated him when he was.
That was his heel moment. You know what I'm saying?
He was pretty.
Yeah,
he was pretty mean. I can't lie. Like, he was saying stuff like.
Yeah. So what this whole thing surrounds around is that people are so used to him being a good guy, it throws him off that he's in a position to be a bad guy now, and people are like, they're not used to change, so nobody wants to be optimistic about it. The people that are ragging on it, I feel like he did something to better his character so he can get in his bag and step up to a level to where, like, this is probably gonna be the best character work we get from John Cena out of his whole career. He's trying to end on a high note. I'll give it to that man.
Yeah. I think that's well, I mean, looking at it, like, I guess to finish what I was asking, bird's eye view, it seems like John Cena's at this phase where he's like, okay, since I'm the bad guy, I'm gonna do it the best the bad guys could possibly do it.
And that's exactly
what I've been doing anyway.
That's exactly. Yeah. Hey, and then, like I said the other day off camera, John Cena is just being himself at this point right now, because a lot of people don't know he can play the politics outside. He can give you that motivational speech. He can tell you those things. But if you go back, all I would say is do your research. Go back and watch Total Bellas. Yeah. You'll see the real John Cena.
He was a heel in that reality.
You'll see the real John Cena.
And a lot of people say, like, a lot of people close to him like that. They'd be like, "That's the real John Cena."
That's the real.
It's not just for the show. Like, it's for the show, but it's also like that's borderline the real John Cena.
That's him.
Let's get some. Let's get your take on it, Rex.
What you think about that, Derek?
I think it's funny because I read an article recently where somebody said that it feels like it was forced. I wish I could remember everything that they said. Some of the points that they made, I think, were kind of like logical, but then some of the points I disagree with. for me personally, I think it's a great thing because it's like he's been, for the most part, if you're just looking on the outside and you're just looking at it, I think there are elements of him just being a face the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But even faces can still be.
Yeah.
And the thing with him is that he has a lot of like things. I went back and there was one, I forgot what I was watching, but he was talking to William Regal or something like that, and he's always had like a element to him when he was rapping.
Mm-hmm.
And when I remember I was like I stopped watching like wrestling around like 2002, 2003, 2004, sometime around there. So I would see clips here and there. But my thing is I like this. The promo, in my opinion, could have been a little better, but at the same time, he was spitting because it is the truth. But it's also, you gotta look at it as like when you only like are doing like 4 or 5 moves, and you gotta go back and look how many times this nigga has won. You start getting bored after a while. You're like, okay, at first you enjoy it, and then you start getting to a point where you're like, all right, bro, like how many jumps are you gonna win, bro? So it gets to a point where you start getting a little bored of it. So I understand why some people did do the switch up. But I think the switch up of him being a heel and him not mentioning Travis or Rock was because he needed to get his personally. He needed to get off personally, and he needed to let this like really just digest. So with what Cena is doing right now, I'm here for it. I want a better promo next time, but because to me it ended awkward with Cody coming out, and Cody was only there for like a minute and just called him a, and then he just sat there and looked at the crowd and just dropped the mic. He was spitting for a while, but I think with what's going on and how it's processing, we're going to get more promos. I just hope the next promos are good because and no matter, even if I didn't like Cena because I thought he was a culture vulture, that's my personal opinion. He still put on some banger ass promos. You can go back and look at some and look at some of the raps and be like, damn, like he still had promos. So I expected a little better, but you know, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, like I like where this is going because, in my opinion, I think Cody's reign has been a little boring. The last KO match was fire. At the end, the beginning was a little flat, but like I think this is great because give them more to work with. You know what I mean? So I'm good with where this is going. Bro.
I think on the next spot, I want to rap to y'all about Cody Rhodes because I have a very I think I have a hot take. It might not be a hot take because I thought
he's the champion. We gotta talk about him more. But so that's our take on that. I mean, I'm enjoying the hill. I think we all enjoy it to a certain extent. But to move on, we're gonna talk about some AEW.
Oh, they hate that.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Critics don't play when it comes to wrestling, man. But more so, I wanna talk about the current state of things, and then we can get into the Jon Moxley match that happened a couple days ago.
Can I start this time?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What specifically are we talking about?
Well, you could start off with the state of things, I guess.
Okay.
Oh no, to start off with the Jon Moxley match, then we talk about the state of things.
So the Wednesday match that happened was 10 times better than what happened at Revolution. At Revolution, I thought that last match was trash. I thought it was boring. But what happened on Wednesday, I thought it was a step up to show you that these two still got it. So many people feel some type of way because Adam, whatever you want to call him, they're like, why keep wrestling? And they're gonna continue to compare his reign at AEW to WWE, but you gotta realize the nigga was at WWE for what, 20 plus years, and you're comparing 1 to 2 years to a reign now. Like, it's like, bro, chill. So in my opinion, and he's a lot older. So
and he had a lot of going down in WWE as well.
Exactly. He had a long history there, bro. Like a lot of kids are now 20. No. He had some problematic shit. He had some controversial shit. Yeah, mix of bag. But my whole thing is just that I thought it was a good match. How I feel about AEW, bro, whether like I'm not going by the general consensus because everybody wants to AEW no matter what. AEW is not bro. It's not. My problem is the inconsistency in the stories. The women's division feels like it's an afterthought. So the fact that we got 2 matches Wednesday and they were actually great lengths was great to me.
Now, we also talked about how like the Cope and Mox should have been the main event. I personally enjoyed that the women's was, because again, week after week after week, we keep getting one women's match and it keeps going to the point of where the commercial break takes the longest. And I think that's should have been a main event? Possibly, yeah. But I'm okay with the women having that because we need to really promote the women a lot more, because
Showing them some love.
yeah, stop putting it
Yeah,
out there
okay.
like they like you don't give a about that division. When I went back and started Googling, this nigga's been talking about the women's division since 2023. Why is it that we've been talking about that for that long and you have not been making no adjustments? That's my problem, bro.
Is there a women's division, or are you saying like
No, there's a women's division, but the thing is, like,
like, they don't promote
weekly.
it?
It's
No,
not-
they get promoted, but it's only one match.
It's not
and
as-
then,
Yeah.
like, they have Wednesdays and Saturdays. Sometimes Saturdays gets 2 matches. Sometimes Wednesday get 2 matches. But he cares so much about the men's division, and that's cool. But why the I care about the women's division if you don't care about it? You have so many great wrestlers. And then the fact of the matter is that some of the older wrestlers of the women starting to feel like an afterthought. They're getting squashed. Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa. So I just want to see what he's going to do with that. I want him to be more consistent with the stories, be more consistent with these belts. Why is Garcia why did he disappear for so long? Why do we get these people that have the belts and then you don't do nothing to utilize them? So utilize them more, give us more stories, stop the inconsistencies, utilize more of these wrestlers, utilize your women's division, and I feel like we will get to a better point of where people can stop and stop saying AEW is just a terrible place. I like the fact that they downsized on their venues. Some people and like, oh, they're in the gym. You don't watch wrestling, my nigga. If you watch New Japan, they literally wrestle in gyms. Yes, that's Japan. I get it. But what I'm saying is that when you're not selling enough tickets because people don't care and you downsize, but you're packing out those downsized places, do that. TNA did that. There's nothing wrong with
Ain't
that.
no shame in it.
So
You gotta do what's best for the company.
Well,
yeah, just utilize what the can, bro, and then they'll be good. And maybe it'll get bigger, bro. We'll see. We'll
Well,
see.
I want to get my take on the John Moxley and Colt match. Personally, I enjoyed, the spot where the nails went in his back, whatever. Even
Yeah,
if
I
that
did
shit
too.
looked gruesome as fuck.
Niggas act like didn't happen in WWE a million times. Bro.
okay,
I
we're-
mean, not to that extent. I'm gonna have to correct you on that. Not to
This
that
nigga Foley got
that's
dropped
your
off the
opinion.
top and his
Yeah.
tooth went in his nose.
Yeah, okay,
What-
no.
what I- What I was gonna say is I didn't like how people were like, trying to like bash that spot or whatever, saying, "Oh, it's too gruesome," and this is AEW's problem, all this stuff. I'm like, what are we talking about?
What are we
Like,
talking
Okay,
but y'all be
so-
the same ones that say y'all want to see that more in WWE.
Okay, so this is why they ragged on it. A lot of the times, AEW uses that element to try to get the crowd to pop or whatever. If you look at the numbers, NXT still did more numbers than that spot, won that match. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that stuff. I'm gonna it. He's gonna you gonna the average person that watched the grew up, they're gonna fuck with that. But the average consumer that just turns the channel on and see that if we was 14 years old and we turned my dad would walk in the room, what the fuck watching? What kind of wrestling is that? Because it's a certain thing that you're used to when you like watching shit. So with that being said, I don't think the spot was bad. I don't think it was nothing wrong with it. I don't think the match was bad. My only problem is if you're showcasing your championship belt in the middle of your show, which has been done in other promotions, but if this is supposed to be the belt that everybody's going for, everybody wants to clamor to get. You got Jeff Jarrett talking about, I want to become AEW champion. These are the belts that people are trying to clamor after. Will Ospreay trying to make his challenge. I don't want to see Will Ospreay fighting for the belt at 9:30, at fucking 9 o'clock in the evening when the shit's supposed to be at the end of the night, because what gives it depreciates the value of the belt. That's like saying, okay, we're gonna put John Moxley and Cope on in the middle of the match, and then we're gonna put the mid-card belt for the main event. That makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? If your WWE, I said WWE, excuse me.
AEW.
If your AEW belt is not on the line that night, if there was no match with that belt on the line, and you put that mid card at the end of the belt, at the end of the build, then yeah, that's cool. But when you trying to put stuff and make stories, and you trying to make this sound like, because there was a storyline that happened at the end of that match with Dax and Cash. Dax walked away.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
that's
that.
telling. If you're gonna tell a story, that makes more sense going off air than going in the rest of the night and nothing. You're not doing nothing to play upon that, because now we got to wait till next week or wait till Saturday to figure out what happened with that match or why Dax is acting like that. When you could have did that at the end of your show, and we can leave it from the cliffhanger. Like, damn, I gotta watch. Now that's gonna make me want to watch Collision.
You got a point.
That's
You know
a
what I'm
good
saying?
point, because I see your angle is more
That's
so
definitely
like
a good point.
the belt should be the main event. Like the AEW belt itself should be the main event. Just like any sport.
That's like watching Tank fight in the
boxing.
middle. That's like
Exactly.
watching Tank fight in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So my last question to basically round up everything y'all have said about AEW, WWE, wrestling, and kind of like the palace of the audience. I want to know, do you feel like, because you're saying that AEW is not marketing certain things correctly in order to engage the audience into the next episode,
Yeah.
right? But do you feel like they're doing this to cater to certain audiences? Because
Yeah.
I feel
All
like
right.
if they
And
show
you,
something at 9 p.m., it's to cater to like
and you know what it is?
kids going to school. and
They
stuff
have a
like
term for them. They're
Yeah.
called the sickos.
Oh, I've heard about
They
that.
call it sickos. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. I'm the type of person where I'm gonna be critical on any type of wrestling, whether it's WWE, AEW, it don't matter. Because if I see something that I don't like, I'm gonna point it out. Because WWE do all the time. I'm like, all right, that shit whack as fuck. My point, the state of AEW right now, I feel like Rex said, it's a lot of inconsistencies. It's a lot of people playing backstage politics too.
Oh, okay.
It's the reason why they call her Mercedes Hogan.
Oh, true.
You know what I'm saying? Because if she can get on the joint, like you brought this up to in the text message earlier,
Oh,
if she can get on AEW TV with all her belts, why Takeshita can't show his belt from New Japan?
She's not. I said, because it's Monet. Yeah, we about to wrap up, man. We had a great episode today, y'all. I'm gonna let Carl say peace out too.
Man, I just want to say, so next week we definitely going to deep dive into more of the topics that we.
Yeah, this topic's gonna get better and better, man.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
And no, I'm not wearing a damn Chiefs hat. But if they,
you're not wearing a Chiefs hat?
Oh no,
He's joining the team.
Commander's hat.
He's coming back.
But me and Zell got a bet. So this is gonna be the running gag for the season.
Yep.
If the Chiefs don't make it, and the Chiefs don't have a better record than the Commanders, I will have to wear this.
No,
hat.
we played y'all. We played y'all.
Oh, yeah,
It's a straight up win.
if the Chiefs lose to the Commanders, I gotta wear this hat. But if the Chiefs beat the Commanders, we got a Chiefs hat waiting on.
Yep. And we're gonna live stream it too.
So this has been another episode of House Money Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? You got your boy Carl Fly.
Boy Dance.
It's your boy Zed Royce.
My name Rex McKinnis.
And we House Money Entertainment, y'all. It's been a good episode. You already know. Always remember house money always win.
Pay your
And
taxes.
Of course, pay your
Yeah,
taxes.
Pay your
taxes.
goddamn taxes, bro.
Because Uncle Sam don't play that.
Don't play.
Yeah.
Boy.
I choose you.
We talking to you, Drake.
Nah, he took funny, man. Fuck that nigga.
All right, y'all. It's been good.